Okay, everybody. We're back doing movie tales. Okay. I have picked a movie because Baz Luhrmann is going to be making a new movie this year. I was like, let's talk about a Baz Luhrmann movie. Is there any I like? Yeah, I like Romeo and Juliet. I think that he did great. It's a fun take, interesting. Moulin Rouge, that's fine, but it's good. It's okay. But I said, you know what? I was talking about doing this movie earlier anyways. Let's do it now. Let's talk about The Great Gatsby from 2013. Baz Luhrmann is an older, wiser man now. He's coming on to 50. He can make these beautiful movies with great casts and characters. On an American classic, The Great Gatsby. Gatsby, this character of Jay Gatsby, one of the best characters in the world. People love him. There's been so many good movies and stories about this character. He represents the ideals of America, the best person you could be, picking up your boots and becoming the best, wealthiest, coolest guy you can, because that's America, baby. It's flashy and great. You can win, you can survive, you can do anything. I hate this movie with a passion. We talked about some stinkers on this show before. Cool World is still the worst movie we've talked about, but this one, I hate it for a different reason, and that is just how much it insists upon itself. Do you remember that classic bit from Family Guy where Peter's like, I do not like The Godfather? It insists upon itself. That is, without a doubt, The Great Gatsby. Look, I don't want to spend too much time harking on the original story by Fitzgerald. It is a classic for a reason. There is stuff in there that is good. To me, the stuff about that story that I like is the way it is written as opposed to the story being told. There are lines of dialogue and just sentences, and the way it structures it and paints its picture is so much more interesting than the actual story being told. Because here is something that's going to shock, I'm sure, nobody. I think Gatsby and Jay Gatsby is one of the worst characters ever. And I mean that just in context of this movie, because I'm sure in the book he is more nuanced. I haven't read it in years. I hate him in this movie. I absolutely cannot stand the sight of this character in this movie. Every time he's on screen, he's making choices that infuriate me. He is saying things that infuriate me. I cannot stand him. I want to punch him in the face. I would push him into his pool. I wouldn't shoot him because I'm not a murderer, but I would push him in his pool and then I would just ruin his day because, he's so annoying. And that's the thing too. I completely understand why you get Baz Luhrmann to do this, because it's the Roaring '20s, it's flashy, it's high fun, it's everything. These bright colors, these great dissolves, these great zooms and pans and everything. I get it. You can definitely make that look good. But once you stop that, once you go away from the parties and all the bright color and spectacle, your style don't work for this man. When you get to the actual heart of this story, the romance, the love story, oof, do you really miss the mark? It just becomes bad. It looks bad. And that's the thing too, like the quick zooms, they don't look good here. We are kind of in the verge of changing technologies at this point. You really feel like maybe doing too much digital really hurts this thing, and it looks really bad at times. Oof, does it ever. But I get it. When Boss is doing the Roaring '20s and everyone's dressed like a flapper and a nice lady with their big cigarettes and they're dancing and they're drinking, it looks cool. If you did that the whole movie, absolutely, you're making something special because it does look great. I can't deny that. And then you get the terrible driving sequences that look so cliched, look like they're straight out of just like a really bad like Private Eye movie, not even, just something worse than that. It looks cartoonish. And I get you're going for that saturated, stylized feel of the '20s, but the styles are clashing with each other and just making it look dumb. You're trying to tell a certain story, and you're too fast-paced for that story. And maybe that's the thing that doesn't work about this. Boz is just like moving too much for what the story's trying to do. You can't sit still for a minute and let anything sink in. And that really sucks because this story is about the love of these characters. It's about the quiet moments, the longing looks, the thinking moments. We don't have time to do that because we got to just zip, bop, boom all around town. We can't rest. I find it infuriatingly annoying. And look, let's dive into the characters because I have a lot of problems with these characters. And again, this book is from a very long time ago. Characters are presented in a certain way, and I don't care. First off, let's talk about Nick Carraway, played by Tobey Maguire. He just looks really bored and dumb in every scene, and I think that's the point. He's just like entering this world of high-flung fashion and society. It's really cool, I guess. And at every turn, he infuriates me because he doesn't make any decisions. He just goes with the flow, and every decision he does make is the wrong one. Tobey Maguire himself, yeah, it's fun. I don't give a shit. You could really get anybody in that role. I guess since he and DiCaprio of history, that's fine. I don't care. I really don't care. It means nothing to me. Daisy is a character, I guess. This is, I think, my biggest problem with this movie is it doesn't let Daisy be a real person. She is the object of affection and attraction, and the moments when she is going to be her own person, the movie, I should say, because again, the book does things differently, and that's okay. Is it okay? I don't know. It's an American classic. He wouldn't change To Kill a Mockingbird, but who cares? Let's move on. It actively makes her passive in too many scenes, where it's like when she should be standing up for herself about her love for Jay's going to be the bigger voice. She's going to deflect and become a woman of the 20s. And her big climactic thing where she kills somebody doesn't really come up again. And that's just a problem. Look, Carey Mulligan, a beautiful woman, a promising young woman, if you will. She has done some very talented things, and I really enjoy her work. But you just feel like there is so much more that could have been said about this character if you did more. And I could say the same thing about Jordan Baker, and I really like Elizabeth Debicki in here because she's really talented, and I like her. And that character is the only character I actually am rooting for. And I think the reason I'm rooting for her is just because she is just kind of involved. She's friends with Daisy. Jay comes to find her. She meets Nick. Boom. She's literally just there, and things happen around her, and that sucks. And then we have all the shitty men. Look, I can't remember the names. Jason Clarke is in here as the bad husband who drinks and kills Gatsby. He's talented. I don't care. Joel Edgerton, very good acting. Very shitty character. Very weird voice, but the voice, it was good at times and bad at times. So that's kind of exciting. But let's talk about Mr. Gatsby for a minute. When you are supposed to be the coolest man, the suavest man, somebody that everybody admires and looks up to, you're like, look at this guy. He's friends with everybody. He's got all this money. Everybody just believes in him. I do not for a minute believe that could be DiCaprio. I'll tell you why. DiCaprio is weird AF. You see that guy, you don't think, this is a guy I want to be around. You think, okay, I see why you are where you are. You are just an interesting fella. And yeah, look, DiCaprio's an actor I like sometimes. Like I said earlier, Romeo and Juliet, he's good in that. Young DiCaprio, I think, is better than modern DiCaprio. This is where he's trying to play that youthful energy, but he is just annoying. And there are moments that allow him to be good. When he first meets Daisy again, that's a good moment. There are moments when he is shouting and he loses his temper. Those are good moments because that is DiCaprio. But the problem is, and I was doing a little bit of like behind the scenes research on this, and DiCaprio's like, that's the thing about Jay Gatsby. He could be a gangster and a suave guy and everyone's favorite doop-de-doo. You're trying to play all of those at once, and it really clashes with anything happening to this character. Like I said, I understand the necessity for Gatsby's character. I do. It's the American dream. He's the story of the man who picked himself up, dusted off his jacket, got to work, and got where he is through everything. But he's a loser, and I want him to fail because he is actively ruining a marriage that's already ruined, making himself be more important than he is. And I think this type of character, if they were real today, we would mock endlessly on Twitter because he sucks. This guy sucks. You don't want to be around this guy. You wouldn't take him seriously, and that's all I'm saying is like this is like a modern day, if this character existed today, like this exact guy, He would be some shitty influencer talking his shit up on it, on whatever, just trying to get people to do a certain thing. You wouldn't respect him. I'm just saying Gatsby is an influencer you wouldn't respect. I really don't like that. The other characters, who gives a shit? It's such a... I just don't like it. I just don't like it. It's just not much of anything. It's too flashy. It's too showy. It's trying way too hard at times to do anything, and then it ultimately does nothing. It's so ugly too. Watching it, you have a headache in the first 30 minutes because of the amount of just quick cuts and pans and everything. You're just like, whoa, slow down a minute. And then I just hate the way everything plays out. I hate the story. I hate that there's a scene where everyone's swapping cars for no reason. I hate that he calls him old sport every minute because he heard it from a guy, whatever. It's so annoying. I hate all these characters. I want them all to fail. No one deserves to be happy except the woman who golfs, Jordan Baker. Everybody else deserves to fail. They're all terrible people, and I hate the narrative structure of Nick Carraway writing the book, using lines from the book as he is writing the book, and then that's how the whole thing is. It's like, here's the perspective of Nick. You don't do that in a movie because it never flows right. It's just like taking a book and being like, how do we make this easier to write a script on? Oh, I know. Let's just use lines from the book as actual devices in the script so we can have like a narration overhand so we don't have to think. Stop it. Stop trying to do that. It sucks. It's annoying. If I talk any more about Gatsby, I am going to lose my cool. Just know it's going to be a hard minute before we come back to a DiCaprio film. Let that sink in for a second. So that is going to do it for this rendition of Dramatic Tales. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Be sure to like and subscribe to the channel. As always, you can check me out on Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter. And I will catch you in the next one. Have fun. Stay safe. Good luck.